Hey everybody, it's Kika, your lifestyle blogger, and I am in my RV and I wanted to sit in here and bring you some information. I wanted to talk about retirement and passive versus aggressive income and just some things that we can do to kind of make life better, how we can take early retirement and kind of what all that means. So what I want to kind of reverse back and just kind of tell you is that I was doing a lot of searching on YouTube about how to retire early, how do people retire early, is buying a house better than renting, kind of all of that. And every time I do research, it always circles back to someone having either some kind of debt. They either need to be a homeowner, but making mortgage payments. It was never buying anything and paying cash for it was the way to go. And honestly, I really feel that it was the way to go. There was one video on YouTube that I ended up finding about an older couple, a retired couple that retired early, who did not start saving for retirement until they were in their late 40s, but they have enough income to last them a lifetime. And what they did is they focused on life in general, their lifestyle. And what that means is they paid off their mortgage, paid off car payments, scaled back their life to kind of do things in supplement. Instead of buying a new couch, they got a used couch. Just those types of things, kind of really looked at a lifestyle change and made that adjustment first. And once they owned and they were mortgage free, which their house, by the way, is worth $500,000 and they have actually zero debt on their house, that really helped. And then they went along with aggressively putting money in their retirement account and savings account. And before you knew it, come retirement age, they were able to retire with being millionaires and having exactly everything they need with no debt. And that worked. So saving and changing their lifestyle on the forefront helped them to be able to live a happier life in the end. And it's really not their end yet. They're just enjoying their life. So I wanted to bring that up because I feel the same way. I am in my mid 40s and I am doing the same thing. So paying cash for everything. And people look at it like, oh, well, you're buying all those excessive things. Why do you need those things? They're not thinking about what those things can actually do for you later on in life, how those things are going to benefit you. Same thing with this RV. When I bought this RV, I paid cash for it. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't going to buy a used one or a new one. I wanted to buy a used one that was the exact layout that I wanted, and I was going to fix it up. And that's exactly what I did. And it worked. I love it. It's beautiful in here. This would be actually my summer home. And so what I mean by that is I'm building a house or a cabin that I'm using right now. It's going to be a cabin. Tiny home cabin is what I call it. And it's debt free. I paid for the cabin. I paid for the land, everything. Actually, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I'm going to acquire another piece of land that's actually behind me because I don't want anyone to build behind me. So my land is going to be even bigger. And that part of the land is only $800. So anyway, when you kind of do those research, you're able to come up on a gold mine actually. So anyway, paid for this, and what I want to do is live in my tiny house spring, summer, fall, and in the winter months take the RV and go to Florida and live at a resort and things like that. So I felt like that was the way to go and the best, the way that I wanted to do things. So it worked out really nicely, and that's kind of the way that I am going. So the RV is here. I use it still to vacation in and things like that, but eventually it'll be something that I will use in the winter months, and in the summer, spring, and fall, I'll live in my tiny house up north, mortgage free. Okay, so now let's go back to bought the land, did all of that stuff, still waiting for the final approval from the association, so that way we can get everything in. Everybody's paid, the well, the septic guy, the wiring, all that stuff, and then the house is paid for and it's just waiting to be put on the land. And then what I noticed is that I went on the county website and I noticed behind my land was a tax forfeited property. And it bumps right up to my land, and it would give me actually an extra half an acre. So I called the county and inquired about how much that land is. And they told me $500 plus $250 to cover the tax forfeiture fee. And there was some other tax fees in there, but it ended up being like $836. So acquiring that land gives me an acre and a half, which is nice. So I have people on either side of me, but I have no one behind me. So all of that land is mine, and I can actually build on the other lot if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to. I may later. Maybe it's something my kids might want to do, but it's kind of nice. But I might do a driveway, because then I can enter in, instead of going all the way around to get to my front driveway, from my tiny house cabin, I could enter in another way by having that land. So it's a win-win either way. Acquiring it was a smart thing, because land always goes up in price, and it's going to always benefit you later on in life. Now, granted, it is an association, so I would have to have another $120 a year for the association. So my association dues would be $240 a year right now until they raise the price on that. But it's yearly. That's okay. I don't see anything wrong with that. It gives me the benefits to be able to use the lakes, the community room, the outdoor swimming pool, and all the other common areas and things that my family could enjoy when they're coming up to visit me. And so I am going to acquire that land. So there's absolutely, to me, nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to kind of tell you, because when you are out searching and you're buying used cars and things like that, that's okay. Buy a used car. If you can pay cash for it, buy it, pay cash for it. I chose to get Porsches because, to me, the older a Porsche is, the more increase in value it is, especially if you take good care of it. So I like that. So it could be a collector's item. And so that's what I chose to buy. So I have 2 Porsches. I have a smart car that I do drive often because it's so great on gas, but it does pair with my RV to be the RV towed. But that's the only vehicles that I have. I do have a boat, which is a pontoon, which is going to be wonderful for the cabin when that's all up and running. So, I mean, when you acquire certain things, just think of the use and how you're going to get the use out of them. Don't just acquire things just for the heck of it. And you're going to hear a lot of naysayers and a lot of people talking stuff about you and what you're buying and why you're buying it and blah, blah, blah. If you have the money to buy it and you can afford it, and only you know the deal that you're getting, because I got a heck of a deal on all of my stuff and I paid cash for all of it. Absolutely go ahead and buy it, because you know that in the long run, it is absolutely going to help you. It's going to be a win-win, because there's certain things in life that happens. I know people say, well, just save your money. That's easier said than done. A lot of people don't make it to retirement. A lot of people die before they hit retirement. A lot of people are very ill and they need to go into their retirement money. That's just life. Life happens. So if you can get assets that you can liquidate later on for if those things happen, more power to you. That is the right way to go, in my opinion. So after all of acquiring all of this stuff, I'm on a 10-year stretch. I have 10 more years before I decide to fully retire, or semi-retire, I should say, because I'm a person that always likes to work. And I knew that, and that's why I bought that food trailer. I'm going to make it a potato bar food trailer, because I'm a person that can't sit still. I have to keep busy. So it's just a fun thing to do, to be a part of carnivals and things like that, and to sell baked potatoes, specialty baked potatoes. So that's what I'm going to do. That's not in no means to be my full-time income or something that I need to do to survive. It's something that I want to do as passive income, as fun income, to help my family and to be able to really enjoy ourselves. So that's why I got the food trailer, and it's going to come in handy later on in life. We're still working on it, but it's even going to come in handy now. I shouldn't say just later on in life. It'll come in handy even now. So what I wanted to say to you, I'm on a 10-year stretch now. From 10 years from now, I'm just going to be now saving the cash. Money, 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 save, 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 save. That is what I'm going to do. So then 10 years from now, hopefully I do everything correctly. Now I have all the assets and I have the money saved. And yes, I am in my mid-40s, but it can work when you're in your mid-40s. Sometimes people do start saving early, and I'm not objecting to that. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. I'm saying saving as well as a lifestyle change is big. A lifestyle change is huge, because life happens. Even if you start saving early, sometimes people have to go into their retirement because of medical problems and medical issues and things. So if you change your lifestyle, eating healthy, exercising, cutting back on certain things, and really living within your means instead of beyond your means, your whole life will change for the better. And it always works. It does change for the better. And then you can make a lifestyle change no matter how much you make. It's not about what you make. It's about a lifestyle change. And I really, really honestly believe that when you make a lifestyle change, good things can come out of that. Only good things can come out of that. So the next thing I wanted to say, in saying all of this, you know, I always say, okay, buy used. But when I say buy used, I don't mean buy used and make payments. I'm saying buy used and pay cash and eliminate payments. Because here's what happens when you make payments. Rather it's a new car or a used car, something always goes wrong with the car where you're going to have to put money into it to fix an engine, fix a motor. Hopefully you don't have to fix an engine or a motor. Those are very high priced things, but you're always going to have to put money into a car to keep it up and fix it. If you pay cash for it, it's easier to be able to keep it up and fix it and maintain it because that's just what you do. But if you're making $400, $300, even $200, or maybe $600 payments, that's absolutely crazy. Plus you got insurance on top of that. And now you have to fix it. Then that car becomes a liability instead of an asset. And that's what you want to kind of get away from, making so many things a liability. When you're making payments on things, it becomes more of a liability. And I'm saying the same things for a mortgage. If you have a mortgage, good for you. That's smart. But try to pay it off as fast as you can by doubling your payments or whatever you got to do. Have a plan and get it done and get it paid for. I wouldn't suggest having a mortgage and then when you're almost paid off, get into another mortgage and then go bigger. And because the bigger your house too, the bigger the light bill, the bigger the gas bill, the bigger everything else. So just be careful about that. And I'm telling you this from experience because I had a big old mansion that I lived in. Granted, thank God I did not buy it because the landlord who actually had it ended up going bankrupt and ended up owing Fidelity over $2 million. And they shared that information when they came to the door to kind of tell me all about this because they wanted my rent payments. It was so weird and so crazy. And I had to hurry up and leave that place. But not just because of his debt. I had to leave the place because that place was getting me in debt. The light bill was $1,200 a month. That man had over 300 lights in the place. Now, when I first moved there, it sounded like a great idea because at that time, all of my kids, their lease was up at their place. They're older, they're adults now. We were all going to move together. Everybody's chipping in. But after a year and a half, you know, they get tired of mama. So they all wanted to move out and get their own place. And then guess who was stuck with everything? Me. And when I got that $1,200 light bill that I had to pay and I called the light company to try to do a payment plan or whatever, she said, get out of that place as fast as you can. That is what people pay in apartment buildings. That is absolutely crazy. And that was just the light bill. That wasn't counting the gas, the water, everything else that place endured. But I endured it for 3 years. I took care of it. I paid for it, struggled to pay for it. But when I finally moved, it was like a weight off my shoulders. I just could actually finally breathe. And I told myself I will never live in something like that again. But then I started reevaluating what made me attracted to that place in the first place. Well, all the amenities. It had an indoor pool, an outdoor pool, a basketball court. It had, it was just beautiful. Granite countertops, all of that. Then I started thinking and watching tiny house shows and things. And I'm like, you can do the same thing in a smaller space, not have all the stuff to clean up and work on, but you can get the same benefit out of it. And at the same time, you know, paying to put the chemicals in the pool and maintain it. Oh my gosh, that was so much money in itself. I'd rather be a part of an association where I can go to the pool and enjoy it and they're taking care of it. And I'm just paying my little association dues along with everybody else. So that's what got me into deciding, okay, I'm going to go with the whole association deal and buy land in a community like that. And that's why I acquired what I acquired. So a lot of research when you're going to make certain decisions. Make sure you sit down and do a lot of research. I do that all the time. As you can see, I'm sitting here with my laptop, my little booklet here, and I sit down and I do a lot of research. Now, just for those of you that may be watching this that are a little bit of naysayers that think I may not be telling the full truth about how you're going to find land for $500. How is that absolutely possible? Trust me, it is possible. Where there is a will, there is a way. You got to research, you got to look. You can even get land for free if you play your cards right and you're really paying attention. That's the problem. A lot of people nowadays don't pay attention and they miss it. So I don't want to tell you exactly where this land is, because I don't know all of you guys personally. So I'm going to cover up with my ink pen the community. But then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to let you eyeball what the state sent me, because what I told them is, you know, I'm still working on putting my house on the land. I just need one more approval from the board of directors, and then we're going to do the well and the septic and put my house on the land and all of that stuff. And I want to acquire the land behind me because I don't want anybody behind me. So she sent me a receipt and said, go ahead and pay this. You can come here and pay it and get your deed right away. And I said, well, I really don't want to drive 2 hours to come and pay that. So she said, well, you can mail it in, but it'll take 6 to 8 weeks to get your deed. To me, that's okay. I'll wait 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not in a hurry. But I want to show you guys. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see. And hopefully I won't get in the way. But I want you to see it. So hopefully you can see it on the paperwork. And here's the pricing right here. $837.65. So all I got to do is fill that out and mail it in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And there's other land in this actual area for that price, cheaper. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Today, I always do this when I buy stuff. I go back on and Craigslist or wherever I found it to see what they're trending for, how much they are. And this actual property, their new booklet must have came out on Friday. I always do stuff on my computer and I kind of leave it up without refreshing. So I refreshed today and they had a new land booklet on there and all of the land went up by $1,000. So the price that I am getting things for, or that I got my land for last year, went up. And it's only going to go up and up in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's only going to be a benefit to me because people, I mean, the more high priced it is, the more your land is actually worth, especially if you take good care of it and do a good job with it. So I'm actually excited that it's going up and that I bought land in a very nice community. So excited about that. But I just wanted to show you guys that because that kind of stuff out there really, really does exist. So when you're talking about retirement and you're talking about preparing for your future, really look at your lifestyle, what will work for you. Don't listen to the naysayers and the people who are saying, oh, you should have started saving here. Oh, you should have started saving there. And Social Security is going to be a thing of the past. We all know that that is not a good thing and people cannot survive and live off of that. I work in senior living. And I see it every day. These people were wealthy at one time, and depending on our government to take care of us is just not where it's at or what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we need to change our lifestyle and we need to adjust and we need to get rid of living. So how do I want to say? Everyone kind of lives right now very fruitful. They get their paycheck, they spend it. Oh, I want new tennis shoes. I want new. But you really gotta, before you spend that money, really think about, how is this gonna benefit me? How is this pen gonna benefit me? How much writing am I gonna get out of this pen? How is this remote control gonna benefit me? You know, so you really gotta think about all of that. I'm not saying don't treat yourself from time to time. I do all the time. I am a Caribou coffee queen. I have some right now. I'm always there. And that's a bad thing because it's like $5 and something every time and I'm always at Caribou. But, you know, I'm not saying don't treat yourself sometime, but I'm saying when you are looking to spend some money and when you're thinking about your future, really sit down and just think things through, research, do your research. Research will never hurt anybody and it will never hurt you, and really get the answers that you're looking for. Watching this video is a nice start because I'm not here to bash anybody. I want you guys to go on this journey with me. And I want to share with you guys what I've experienced and what I'm going through. And hopefully you can take that and you can do even better and make your own better video. And then maybe I'll watch it and I'll learn something from you guys. So this is all a learning process. This is not a bragging thing. This is not something that I'm doing to show everybody that I'm the best in doing this or that, because I'm not. I'm a plain person just like everybody else in her mid-40s and that's trying to think outside the box. Have I had a retirement account? I had a retirement account. Actually, I still have partial of it. But I went through some things in my early 20s, and I don't want to talk here about it on camera or whatever. I was sworn to secrecy on all of this stuff, but I went through some court things where I was treated very unfairly. And so the trust issue there at a certain place made me look at things just a lot differently. And so I realized that I had to change my lifestyle. Not only my views changed abruptly, because I just thought everybody was just great people, but that's not the case. So I really had to change my lifestyle in order for my life to really work. And I'm not saying I have the best life, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm working damn hard to be on my way. So keep watching. I know this video was a little long. Sorry about that. But more video footage is going to be coming up. It is now June 2nd. And this is the month that the house will be put on the land. So I'll have some video coverage for that. And then I'll tell you all about it. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed for me that the board approves my final letter and my final plans that I sent to them on Friday. And then we'll be moving forward to get the house on the land and get everything all done. And there'll be lots more videos for you to watch. Thank you for watching. More video footage coming up.